Most people listening to this show know what their passion is, and it could be a hobby, it could be, they could love reading, they could love playing tennis, they could, they'll have passions. And if you have a passion, it makes sense to spend a lot of your life involved in that passion. And quite often you can turn your passion into a business. You can see maybe there's some aspect of your passion that people are not doing that well. And
you've probably been told this your entire career. Play it safe, be careful, don't take unnecessary risks. And at first, that advice sounds intelligent. Richard Branson says that's wrong. His risk philosophy accelerates careers faster than playing safe ever will. In this video, you will learn 7 rules that are based on his risk-taking philosophy. Playing it safe is the kind of thinking that protects you from failure, from embarrassment, from making the wrong move. But here's the part no one explains clearly. This attitude does not protect your career the way you think it does. In fact, over time, it often does the opposite. It slows you down until one day you realize you've been working hard and nothing really changed. Let's start with a question most people avoid asking themselves honestly. If safety truly worked, why do so many careful, disciplined, hardworking professionals end up stuck? Why do people with talent, experience, and effort plateau for years? The answer is not lack of ability. It is not lack of ambition. It is misunderstanding risk. This is where rule number 1 kicks in. Rule 1, redesign risk instead of avoiding it. Most people treat risk as something to avoid completely. But the people who move forward faster don't eliminate risk, they redesign it. They ask a different question. How can I take this risk without letting it destroy me? That shift alone changes the trajectory of a career. Because once you stop trying to eliminate risk and instead learn how to manage it, something interesting happens. You start moving, not recklessly, but intentionally. And movement, not perfection, is what creates progress. The truth is, most careers slow down not because of failure, but because of excessive caution. People start optimizing for comfort instead of growth. They choose predictability over possibility. And this is why the next rule is something to remember forever.
You can say, screw it, I could do it better. And I think if you spend your life with your eyes open, looking for things that frustrate you, looking for gaps in the market, that's all a business is. It's fulfilling that, filling in a gap and doing it better than it's been done by anybody else. And people who don't have closed minds will most likely find those opportunities. Now, I suspect there will be 100 people who will have come up with that idea before you, but those 100 people won't have had the courage just to go and do something about it. So those few people who just say, right, I'm going to give it a go, often end up, being successful.
Rule 2, comfort kills career momentum. People stay in environments where they feel competent instead of stepping into situations where they might struggle, learn, and expand. At first, this feels like stability. You become reliable, consistent, respected. But underneath that stability, something else is happening. Your exposure to challenge is shrinking. And when exposure shrinks, growth slows. You're still working, still producing, still showing up, but you're no longer stretching. And without stretch, there is no expansion. This is where many professionals unknowingly trade long-term growth for short-term comfort. Now consider this. What if your biggest career risk right now is not taking one? This brings us to the next rule for your career. Rule 3, speed beats certainty every time. That idea is uncomfortable because it forces you to question the very behavior you've been relying on to feel secure. Avoiding risk feels like protection, but in reality, it often leads to stagnation. Industries evolve, expectations shift, new technologies emerge, and the people who avoided risk find themselves unprepared, not because they lacked intelligence, but because they stopped adapting. There is a pattern you'll start to notice once you look closely. The people who accelerate in their careers are not always the smartest in the room. They are not always the most experienced, but they are almost always the ones willing to act under uncertainty. They take on projects before they feel fully ready. They speak when they are not completely sure. They make decisions without having every piece of information. Not because they are fearless, but because they understand something most people don't. Confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It is a result of it. Most people wait to feel ready before they act. But readiness rarely arrives on its own. It is built through exposure, through doing something uncomfortable repeatedly until it becomes familiar. Every time you step into uncertainty and survive it, your tolerance increases. Your perception shifts. What once felt risky begins to feel manageable, and over time, what felt impossible begins to feel normal. This is why rule number 4 will completely flip your way of acting. Rule 4. Confidence follows action, never precedes it. There is also a hidden cost to avoiding risk that most people never calculate. Every time you delay a difficult decision, avoid a challenging conversation, or choose the safer option, you reinforce a pattern of hesitation. And that pattern becomes your default. It becomes how you respond under pressure. And eventually, it shapes your identity, not the identity you claim, but the one your actions consistently reinforce. Quick test. What career decision are you delaying right now? Comment it below. This is where identity tension appears. You may see yourself as someone ambitious, capable, and driven. But your behavior may reflect caution, delay, and avoidance. That gap between identity and action grows quietly over time. And careers are not shaped by what you believe about yourself. They are shaped by what you repeatedly do. And when it comes to taking risks, there is one important thing to keep in mind. Rule 5. Small risks compound faster than big ones. Now, risk does not mean doing something extreme. It means doing something slightly uncomfortable, consistently. It means choosing action over delay in small moments that seem insignificant but compound over time. Speaking up when it feels easier to stay quiet. Taking ownership when it feels safer to observe. Deciding when it would be more comfortable to wait. These moments define direction more than any single major decision. Another factor that plays a critical role here is speed. Not reckless speed, but decision speed. Most people underestimate how much timing affects outcomes. Opportunities do not wait. They move. They evolve. They disappear. And if you take too long to decide, the decision is often made for you. Usually not in your favor. Safe thinking prioritizes certainty, but certainty takes time. And in fast-moving environments, time is the one thing you do not have. This creates a paradox. The more you wait to be certain, the less relevant your decision becomes. Rule 6. Move when others hesitate, Branson's downside rule. So high performers do something different. They act with incomplete information, but they control the downside. They do not bet everything. They test, adjust, and move again. It is experiential. You do not truly understand something until you engage with it directly. Risk forces that engagement. It accelerates feedback, and feedback accelerates growth. At this point, fear does not disappear. It transforms. Instead of fearing action, you begin to fear stagnation. Instead of fearing failure, you begin to fear missed opportunity. That shift changes how you evaluate decisions. It reorients your thinking from protection to progression. Now think about this honestly. How many opportunities have you already missed because you waited too long? Because you needed more clarity, more confidence, more certainty? Once you see this, it becomes difficult to ignore. You realize that delay has a cost. This awareness creates a choice. You can continue optimizing for comfort, or you can start building tolerance for uncertainty. And this choice shows up daily, not in big dramatic moments, but in small decisions that shape your trajectory. There is also a strategic advantage to this approach. And here is the final point. Your biggest career risk is not making the wrong move. It is staying in a position where nothing challenges you. Nothing stretches you. Nothing forces you to grow. That is where progress stops. Quietly, gradually, without warning. So if you feel stuck, do not just ask what you should do next. Ask what you are avoiding, because it feels uncomfortable. Because that is usually where your next level is hiding. You do not need to become reckless. You do not need to take extreme risks. You need to become someone who understands risk, who can navigate it, shape it, and use it. Because once you do, the same situations that once felt dangerous start to feel necessary. And that is when your career begins to accelerate. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Tell us in the comments, which rule will you test first? Like if you're done playing safe. Subscribe for more input on your career and personality shift.